Hello everyone, welcome back to Humble Acres. In this video, we are going to start working on this garage that I'm going to put in. We're out next to where the old farmhouse was, and there used to be a two-car garage here. And you can see the foundation for it runs right along here. And a long time ago, this burnt down. There were some renters in that farmhouse, and they burned down this garage. What I happened to come across is my neighbors wanted to get rid of their garage, and it happens to be almost the same exact size as this foundation. So they're gonna give me that garage, and I just have to move it over to here. But first, we need to fix this foundation. So it's actually pretty decent all along here, but then you get back to here, and the corner kind of busted out. You can see somebody like put a T-post inside of it and stuff, and we got another piece here where there's just a big pipe running through the concrete. And then there's a spot right here that's also bad. But you can see what I've done. I actually took some rebar and I drilled holes in all the concrete and I put these in. I'm going to tie these all together so hopefully it won't bust out again. And I did that on all the spots. There is a crack here as well, but I don't think I'm going to do anything about that. Yeah, I need to get some wire to tie all of these rebar together to make it nice and strong, and especially on the corner so it doesn't bust out. And then we need to form it all up and then pour some concrete. So I have some buckets of water and my wheelbarrow and some boards to make a form. That's what we're doing in this video. So I don't know when I'm actually going to be able to get the garage. My neighbors have been trying to clean up their property, and they're going to try to clear that garage out, and then they'll let me know. But that'll probably be in a separate video, but it'll be right after this one. So if you want to skip through this, feel free, but that video might not be out yet. So let's get to work. All right, so what I'm planning on doing, I got some construction adhesive here. I'm going to squirt down in these holes here, like so, and fill them up. And then I'm going to take my rebar and shove those down in there so they have a really secure joint in there, hopefully. So hopefully that will hold. And then after I get all of these put in, I'm going to come back and wrap these with some wire to tie them together. Got all those stuck in there, so now I'm going to get some wire, wrap around what I can, try to get them tied together. That's not super important, but I think it'll help a little bit at least. So we'll do that, and then we will get the forms put in. So I'm not doing really anything fancy with these forms. I just have some of these pieces of scrap plywood, and I'm just kind of throwing them up there, figuring out what length I need. So that one should be good. Cut it about here. Like so. And that one will go there. They don't have to be level at the top. I can kind of trowel it flat on top, so not too worried about that. This one here is a pretty short little one. So I'm probably not even gonna have to cut these. Just put that there and put this one here. Should be fine. We'll have to stake on both sides, but it really, I'm not gonna have to put much force behind these because there's not a whole lot of concrete, so there's not gonna be a lot of pressure pushing these away. So as long as I get them close up to there and then get something to hold behind them, I can put some dirt or something behind here and it would probably be enough to hold them in there. But should be good. Now that I have all these cut, I'm gonna get them staked in and then we'll get some concrete mixing. All right, so we got all of our forms put in. Should be plenty fine for what we're doing here. I was thinking about pouring some new foundations back further for these front walls because the garage I'm getting is not quite this full length. This is a 22-foot depth and the one I'm getting is a 20-foot depth. But I was also thinking that adding 2 more feet to the garage would be really nice. Have that extra length or depth to it, and it really wouldn't cost, or it's not gonna really cost anything for me because I have almost all the lumber to do it already. And the roof I have to replace anyway because the shingles on it aren't any good. So I'm gonna pull some metal off the other barn over there that's falling down and put the metal roof on it. So I think I'm just gonna extend it and call it good there, because that's just gonna be so much nicer to have those extra 2 feet. Let's get to mixing some concrete. So the last time I did concrete, it didn't go over so well. So hopefully this time it'll go a little better. Hopefully I have enough water. Start mixing away. I probably have way more concrete than I need, but I didn't really want to run out. I think I got 6 bags of it. Now it's probably too wet. That's how concrete mixing usually goes for me. Yeah, definitely too wet now. Well, probably just dump in another bag. Yeah, that's probably way too wet now. Get another bag. Thing is, I'm gonna need quite a bit anyway, so not too big of a deal. So the last time I did concrete, I poured a foundation or a slab for a garage at my old house, and I didn't realize, but they put some chemicals in it to like harden. Well, I guess I knew they put the chemicals in it for it to cure faster, because it was cold out and I really didn't know what I was doing. And they suggested it, so I just went with it, which I shouldn't have, because it cured way too fast. But I got in my bare knees, down my hands and knees, and was in it. And I didn't realize there's a lot of chemical reactions with concrete. And I actually burned all the skin off of my knees. And I had jeans on, but at the time I thought my knees were just getting really cold. So I ended up just bandaging them up, and I didn't go to the hospital because I was very stubborn and I didn't want to spend the money to go to the emergency room. But after a couple days of the pain, I finally went to the emergency room, and they could not believe that I went 2 days without going there because they were really bad. So they gave me some good medication, like painkillers, and they cleaned up all my wounds and everything. And yeah, it took probably a good month before I could bend my knees without them hurting and for most of the skin to grow back. But now you really can't tell that I had any issues. They were really tender for a while, but have no issues with them now. I got very lucky. So this looks really good. This is like the perfect consistency. Like you put it down, you can like shake it a little bit and it flattens right up. So let's start dumping it in there. Not quite sure how much I should put in there, because you can already see those forms are kind of pushing off the tap them, so concrete works its way down in there. Yeah, it's pushing out a lot over here, but it'll be fine. Make do. Now, it'll be fine. I actually don't have my trowel, so I just have to use my shovel. I'm really prepared for this, if you haven't noticed. This is not a how-to channel, so if you want to know how to do this the correct way, don't do what I'm doing. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's move to the next one. Definitely a lot more pressure there than you'd think there would be. really should have just put something across the top there. That really would have made it a lot better, but I'll put this across the top. So get that there, and then push it tight, pull this tight, and then put another screw on this side. That'll keep it together enough. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Like that. Alright, this one's probably good. I have to cut these off once I get this all done, but it'll be fine. This side, this one's looking decent too. That'll be alright. It'll hold the corner together anyway, and this one looks decent. It'll hold it together. So we just have that little bit down there, and we should have enough in here to fill it. I don't suggest touching concrete though, for anyone that's actually listening. That'll be just fine. I'll wash my hand in the water bucket. Alright, and with that, the concrete fixing should be good. I have some more grading I could do inside the garage here, because it's all dirt and grass and stuff, and I actually showed this garage foundation project probably over a year ago. I'll put a clip of that here. So this right here, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but we'll walk in here. You can see right here, there is a concrete foundation. This used to be a garage for the old farmhouse, and I want to rebuild it because the foundation's actually in good shape still. There's just a bunch of trees that have grown up in here, and one of the renters dumped a lot of garbage over here. So I actually want to get this, rebuild this. It's gonna be a little bit of work to get all these trees out of here, but it's not the end of the world. You can kind of see the corner of the foundation right here. So I think it's a 20 by 22 foot garage. It's not too terribly big, but it'll be big enough to store a couple things in. But anyway, I kind of gave up on it because I found out that the foundation was kind of not the best. But then I found out the neighbor wanted to give me that garage, so I'm like, well, let's just fix the foundation, because having another garage would just be a super, super big help. And I started coming in here. I didn't film any of me getting this foundation kind of to the place it's at now. There was a lot of digging out with my tractor and stuff. You can see all of the dirt that I piled up over here, and there's a lot of dirt piled up back here and over here, because this foundation was actually buried. Like, this corner was probably a foot under the dirt. The only concrete you could actually see was kind of like right here, and you could barely see like right there too, I think. Or no, this part was actually sticking out of the ground quite a bit over here, but this back part was just buried. So I dug all of this inside the garage out, and I dug out around the outside so water wouldn't seep in once I got the garage in here. So it was quite a bit of work, and there were some big trees and stuff in here that I moved out, but there's also a whole lot of garbage because the people that rented that old farmhouse just threw all their garbage back here. So that pile and a lot more back here, there's just a lot of garbage in it. So eventually I'll need to clean that up, but my biggest priority is to get this foundation ready and get this garage in. And what I really want to do, or what I'm going to do, once the garage is in here and all set up and everything, I have that electric pole right over there and that meter that used to run the old house. So I'm gonna, from that electrical box underneath there, I'm gonna bury a power cable straight over to here, and then I'm gonna put a panel inside this garage. So I can have power in here, have some outlets and lights, and I'm gonna park my Kubota in here in the winter time. Well, probably all the time, but I have a block heater installed on it, so when they're really cold, I'm gonna use it to plow the driveway and stuff. I can have that block heater hooked up so it won't be as hard to start it in the winter time. And then I'm also, from this electric panel, there's an old well over there. It's pretty much right where that tree is. I need to cut that tree down because it's probably not the best for the well. But there's a well for the house right there, and I want to run power over to that and get that working again so I have water out here as well. I don't really need it, but I have thought about getting some goats. I've been kind of against having animals out here because I'm not really big on animals, but I was thinking if I could have some goats out here, it would make clearing all of this grassy area in the woods so much nicer. And I could make probably a little area inside the end of the hen house for them, and then they could just pretty much keep all of this area clear for me. So tell me if that's a good idea, and also comment on what type of goats you think would be good for that as well. The reason I'm putting this at the end of the video is most of the people that watch all the time watch my videos all the way through, so I really appreciate that and thank you for that. But you guys also seem to be pretty loyal to the channel, so I trust your guys' opinion a little more. So I think that's going to be it for this video. The next video on this will be moving the garage over, and that might be a multi-part as well, because that's probably going to be quite a big project. And in case you guys, before you comment, I'm not going to be able to move the garage all in one piece over to here. I wish I could, but right here where that pole and that tree are, it gets really hilly, and there's no way to pull it through here because it's too wide and there's way too big of a hill right there. So I won't be able to pull it back here and just drop it on the foundation. I wish I could, but it's just not going to happen. So we're going to take it apart in pieces with the tractor, move it over here, reassemble it. But that's going to be it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.